Are you thinking about moving to Calgary? Well, you're definitely not alone. Over the past few years, Calgary has seen a record-breaking surge in new residents, and while it's still a great city, some of the things that once made it a top choice for many are changing fast. Today, I'm posting 2 videos. One about all the things that make Calgary a fantastic place to live, and another on the reasons it might not be right for you. It's not all sunny skies here in Calgary, and in this video we're going to dive into the challenges our city is facing, why it might not be the vision of the good life you had pictured, and whether moving here could leave you wishing you hadn't. Let's talk about the other side of Calgary. I'm Dawn, and if you're getting any value from my videos, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. There is also a link below where you can book a call with me if you've got any questions. Let's start with housing, because after all, this is a real estate channel. Calgary has long been known for affordable real estate compared to cities like Toronto or Vancouver, but in the past few years, demand has grown significantly, and so much so that supply couldn't keep up. Already Alberta's largest urban area, Calgary added almost 96,000 new residents last year to reach just under 1.7 million people. This translates into an annual growth of 6% and over half of Alberta's total growth. For context, Calgary's average growth rate over the previous 10 years was a more modest 2%. So home prices went up and vacancies are down, the cost of rentals have soared, and if you're looking to buy, competition had been pretty fierce up until a few months ago, where we've started to see prices stabilize. We're heading into the colder months, so it's not unlike our city to see a slight dip this time of year, but we're in a place now where we're all wondering how that will play out in 2025 with interest rates dropping. But if affordability brought you here, you might find Calgary isn't quite as attractive price-wise as it once was. Now let's talk about getting around Calgary. Calgary has that urban sprawl, and for the most part, we are a car-centric city. So owning a vehicle here really helps, and some might say is essential. With the population growing so fast, Calgary's public transportation and road infrastructure are feeling the strain. And I want to be clear, our public transit system here in Calgary, in my opinion, was not great to start. So as far as the layout for our train system, if you live in the southeast or kind of the northwest bordering northeast section of the city, the train isn't a practical option for you. Calgary's Green Line LRT project is finally back on track, but not without a few big changes. After years of delays and reworking, the city and Alberta government are focusing on delivering a cost-efficient, above-ground transit line for the southeast Calgary. This new approach extends further into areas with high transit needs while skipping a costly underground downtown route. Still, with no northern expansion in sight, there is growing concern for North Calgary residents. This month, Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen and Mayor Jyoti Gondek confirmed construction would start from 4th Street southeast to Shepherd, making a critical step forward in reshaping Calgary's transit. Currently though, you'll find buses and C-trains more crowded than ever, and traffic congestion during peak hours is on the rise. For those used to a quick commute or uncrowded transit, this shift can be a real adjustment. Alright, so here's the deal. Calgary's rising cost of living is making it harder to sell the Alberta advantage. Over the past few years, Calgarians have seen essentials from groceries to utilities creep up in price, with necessities alone reaching an average of $55,771 annually by 2022. That's actually on par with Toronto and Vancouver, cities known for high living costs. And while Calgary's housing used to be affordable, the game has changed. Skyrocketing rent and utility costs means even getting a one-bedroom place can feel like a financial squeeze. And food insecurity? It's a real issue for more families than you might expect. On top of that, inflation in Calgary is outpacing the national average, hitting 3.6% this year, which doesn't pair well with the stagnant minimum wage that's stayed at $15 per hour since 2018. Even effective October 1st, Ontario's minimum wage is now $17.20 an hour, and as of June, BC's hit $17.40 an hour. This economic landscape has led many Calgarians to feel their income just doesn't stretch like it used to. Even higher than average wages haven't closed the gap. And people are left wondering if Calgary's living costs are just the start of a trend that's making the city less livable each year. Challenges with public services and healthcare. With all of these new residents, healthcare and public services are feeling the impact too. The doctor shortage in Calgary is severe, and I'm lucky to even have a family doctor. And let me tell you, she has over 3,000 patients. That's not unusual here. Most people are struggling to find any doctor at all. The number of family doctors accepting new patients has dropped drastically from 900 in 2020 to just 190 across Alberta this year, with only 65 in Calgary. Many doctors are leaving due to the high costs and burnout, with some unable to even take a vacation. For those without a doctor, the only option is often an overcrowded emergency room where you wait forever. Alberta's health system is truly stretched to its limit, and without immediate changes, access to primary care will keep dwindling, leaving many of us on our own for essential medical support. Now, switching gears, getting into newer schools in Calgary has become tough, and many are at or beyond capacity, leading to a need for a lottery system. So, here's how it works. If a school reaches its capacity, new students are entered into a lottery with priority given to kids who live in the school's walk zone and have siblings already enrolled. This lottery process happens each February, so families hoping to secure a spot have to apply before the February deadline. If a child doesn't get a place, they're assigned to an overflow school, typically the next closest one with availability. For Calgary families in newer communities or areas with rapid growth, this system has become a regular challenge as demand for space rises annually, leaving many families feeling frustrated and just uncertain about these school placements. For anyone planning to move here with a family, these are important things to consider. Calgary is widely known as part of Hailstorm Alley in Alberta, where significant hail events frequently occur, often resulting in severe damage to homes, vehicles, and infrastructure. It feels like the northern communities of Calgary, like Coventry Hills, Redstone, other areas like that, are often hit the hardest, with frequent storms causing everything from shattered windows to dented cars, damaging roof and siding. This past August alone, Calgary experienced one of the worst hailstorms, which led to nearly $2.8 billion in insured damages, making it the second costliest natural disaster in Canadian history after the Fort McMurray wildfire. That means it's more costly than the 2013 floods here in Calgary. The storm's impacts were severe enough to disrupt operations at the Calgary International Airport, with hailstones as large as golf balls. They damaged planes, buildings, grounding multiple flights, and creating extensive repairs needed. And if it's not hail, it's wildfire smoke in the summers. Calgary summers have seen a growing haze from wildfires across Alberta and BC, sometimes pushing our air quality to very high risk levels. That smoke isn't just unpleasant either. It's packed with toxic particles from things like burnt plastics and treated wood, which means breathing it in can irritate your throat and eyes and even cause long-term issues for people with asthma or heart disease. Health experts say the effects could be cumulative over time, making this more than just a bad day outdoors. For Calgarians, that often means staying indoors, skipping sports events, and keeping an eye on the air quality index before planning any outdoor activities. And then there's winter. Yes, it gets cold here in Calgary with regular dips below -20, sometimes colder, but thanks to Chinook's warm mountain winds that can raise temperatures by, get this, 30 degrees Celsius in just a few hours, we get the occasional midwinter reprieve. It's not unusual to go from bundling up one day to patio weather the next, but be careful. While Chinooks offer a nice break from the cold, many people experience migraines from the change in pressure, and it can be unbearable. Calgary's cold and dryness means your skin, hair, car, nails, plants will all need extra care to handle these elements. So, there you have it. Calgary's not exactly all rainbows and butterflies. From housing pressures and infrastructure strain to wildfire smoke and hailstorms, the city's growth spurt has come with some serious trade-offs, and for some, these challenges have been enough to make them reconsider their move altogether. But hey, if you're still intrigued, check out my other video on all the reasons Calgary is still a fantastic place to live. Yes, there are good reasons too. And you know what? If you're still here and considering a move, well, hey, maybe you were meant to be an Albertan after all. If you've got any questions, you can check out my link below to book a call with me to discuss further. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.